So, hello and welcome back. Now we're going to go over how to install the data analysis tool pack if you don't have it. That's number one. Number two, we're going to look at how to do a F-test, which helps us determine whether our variances are equal or not. And then based on that, to do a T test for either equal or unequal variances. So the first thing we have to do is you have to make sure that your data analysis tool pack is installed. To do that, you click on the file ribbon over here, far left side, and go down to the bottom and go to options. And this will pop up. From here, you go to add-ins. It'll take a second. And you see on the very bottom here, it says manage Excel add-ins. There's technically other ones. We want Excel add-ins specifically, and you hit go. And this pop-up will hit in, pop up. So I use this a lot. So make sure the analysis tool pack is selected. So it will look like this to you if you don't have it. You just hit OK, check it, and then you hit OK, and it will install it. And what that does is it installs, if you go to data, this thing right here that says data analysis. So that is under the data analysis, data analysis. So the first thing we have to do an F-test. So an F-test looks at two variables, and we have to see, isolate those two variables themselves. So I want to hit in the data tab, same thing. So if you're at home here, you would click on data, and then you click on filter. We're going to use this a lot for the next couple things. So from here, I can filter out to only get things that I want, which is good. So I click on filter, this little down button under encounter, because we're going to filter based on encounter timeline. And I want to click on select all to unselect everything and click on just 6. And what this does is it filters out everything but encounter timeline 6. From here, I'm going to go to the length of stay, the very first cell that's available happens to be D2. And I want to highlight everything and copy it. The quickest and easiest way to do this is if you hit Control, Shift, and down, it will highlight absolutely everything in your data set here. And you can copy it using either Control C or Home and the copy button here. And then let me look at the protocol to make sure, because I might try to do this exact same thing. And we're going to go put this in P2. So we go to P2, and I'm going to paste. And then up here, I'm going to do encounter 6. This is not necessarily, doesn't necessarily have to be 100% accurate as long as you have a label that makes sense. Do not just put 6 because it might treat that as the number 6. So always put some text in with it. And then I go back up to the top. I click on this encounter timeline and I deselect 6 and I select 12. And it changes everything. And then once again, I go down to the second cell in D, which says this point is 1352, Control Shift down, and I hit Control C. And I go back over to statistics and I paste. And then we do encounter 12. So from here, we have to do the F test to see whether or not the variances between one and another are the same. Let me see where I put this. I'll make sure I do the exact same thing. We are down to here, the F test. I put this in E10. Okay, so for the F test, I go to data, I click on data analysis, and it comes up with a huge list. What I want to do is do F test 2 samples for variances. I hit OK, and this will pop up. So the range 1, I can either go through and manually select everything, or I'm being lazy. I'm just going to do all of the p-values. Because, so if in Excel, if you just put P to P, P colon, and I put the $ just because it's what it's going to do anyway, it will do every value in every cell of the column P. And I can do the same thing with Q to Q. And so variable 1 is going to look at everything for encounter 6, but the variable 2 is everything For encounter 12, I want to make sure labels is selected because that will label things for me nicely. And I want to click on, uh, oh, it is actually this. Oh, I forgot to put in the colon. There we go. And then I want to put the output range here. Didn't throw error. So I can click this little button up here, and then I can go down to E10 here. Oh, sorry, E10, and hit enter, and then hit OK, and it runs the test for me. So here it shows that I have the means for different ones, the variances, the observations, all that. I honestly, that's all nice and good. The only one I care about is this line right here. So if this value is 0.05 or less, that means your variances are different and you have to do a t-test for unequal variances. If it is 0.05 or greater, you have to do a t-test for equal variances. So if this is less than, which it is, you have to run unequal. And we are going to put that in I10. So to do that, it's the same data. So we go back to data, whatever. And I click on here, and then I go down and look for t-test assuming unequal variances and hit OK. And then I can do P colon P and Q colon Q. I say I have labels, and I am doing this in I10. And it comes up with my two sample t-tests. So in here, you have a couple things you can look at. You can look at a one-tailed test, which is it greater than or less than, which has a 0.05 here, which means we are not different. Or I could look at a two-tail, which is it just different? And that is at a 0.99, so they're not different. So both tests show a p-value of greater than 0.05, which was that alpha that we put in. Therefore, both of them are not significantly different, and there's no difference between encounter 6 and 12 for our data for length of stay.